Copy, yes. And let me also, thank you very much. Let me also invite on stage another panel member, Mr. Bandar Al-Kamhan, who is General Manager, Advanced Manufacturing Technologies from KST. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you don't mind to come closer, because there is a mic on the other side. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I believe that Dr. Fahad, who's the third panel speaker, couldn't make it, but in case he's joining, he's welcome on stage at any moment. Thank you very much. I'll moderate this panel. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to join this panel today. And as I was announcing from stage, I believe that education, research, and industry operate sometimes at different speeds in different manners. So I believe it's particularly relevant today to try to understand how to create better bridges. And the two of you, Mr. Hamad in particular, as Vice Dean Academic in a College of Architecture and Engineering, I believe you have responsibility to try to incorporate in your curricula these aspects of material innovation, particularly innovation that relates to responsive materials. We are in an environment that requires this attention, this commitment. So my first question to you would be how you try in your university to incorporate in the curricula these aspects.
Thank you very much, Mazimo, and thanks everyone for coming today. To answer your question, Mazimo, in King Saud University, and especially in the College of Architecture and Planning, we investigate a lot of research and also in curriculum to develop new materials in our society and in the architecture field. And also we have some bridges with other companies in the public sector and also the private sector. And one of them is King Abdulaziz. Recently, with Dr. Bandar, he has come to us many times to give some lectures. And we use his lab in the King Abdulaziz labs to test some new materials. We have some courses about building materials where students can study the new materials, not only for their construction properties, but also for their environmental impact and responsiveness. This course called Building Materials, and they also use simulation in another course called Building Performance Simulation.
Thank you very much, and I understand that you are committed to incorporating the curriculum these aspects. And do you believe, if I may, that there are maybe challenges in your academic environment in how this kind of research that is maybe extracted from the student worlds into bringing them to real world applications? Because I believe sometimes we do research in universities, but it is not always that easy to transfer the knowledge, the new knowledge that is created into real applications. So what are your, let's say, barriers or funnels that you are finding?
In the College of Architecture, we have 4 master programs and 2 doctoral PhD programs in architecture and planning departments. Most of our students, the graduate students, are already employees in private sector and public sector, and usually they research that help them in the company they work on or the sector they work on, which can they develop and use again as a bridge between real life and research.
Understand. Just an addition, a small addition to it, which is maybe very specific. Do you have any policies that help you, for instance, promoting patents, intellectual properties? Because when we talk about advanced materials, all in the sudden we are into this kind of area where potentially there are industry or commercial exploitation, and therefore the university, the student have the right to be properly guided and protected into the intellectual property of the research.
We are open for opportunities to sponsor some research students by other companies and sponsor them financially and legislatively to do their research relating to the product that the company is producing, and at the end they get to a partnership of that new product or new technology that the students worked on in this research.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Mr. Badar, if you don't mind, I would like, before I go to the questions that I have for you, would you mind to share with us how that your research center operates, so that we have a better understanding how you are positioned and how you operate?
Sure. Thank you so much for having us today, and I would truly appreciate the opportunity to meet with all of the audiences here and talk about how can we really work with the research project from the beginning until get it to the market. So the concept of having a research and take it to the market is something really important, specifically with all of this data projects around the kingdom right now. So we are at CACS working really hard on to getting this concept in every single university by example. So if you don't mind, I would like to take you through a use case that we have been working on since 2018. And where are we right now? So if we go back in time, in 2026, in 2016, there was an announcement by the Ministry of Housing about the huge demand of housing, single-family homes. They announced that there is a shortage by 1.5 million single-family homes. And with that number, with the limitation of the industrial solutions, it will be impossible to achieve this number. And specifically, the goal was to solve the issue of the shortage by 2022. And now we are in 2025, and we're still not reaching this number yet. They have changed their objective and to build by 2023 800,000 single-family homes, but again, we're still not having enough industrial solutions. What I mean by that, and this is the role of the research entity as well, to look after why we are so behind in the construction industry in terms of utilizing new technologies. We're still based on on-site construction. We're doing great jobs, we're doing great projects, but still it's not at the level in comparison with other industries. So if we look at the automobile industries, the aerospace industries, shipbuilders industry, they're more advanced than the construction industry. So we try to mimic what the automobile industry is doing. And again, we took the initiative, we got approval from the Saudi 2030 initiatives on that specific project to look after new solutions for how to automate the construction a process of housing, and this is what we did at that time. So we started from looking after the problem and then set some objectives and goals that we would like to achieve. Some of them is the quality of life that we would like. Automating the process of construction doesn't mean that we're downgrading the life of the quality of life. So as I mentioned earlier, we try to understand how the automobile industry is functioning. And then we try to get most of the positive parts and advantages to our industry. So for that, we started by dividing this project into 8 different domains. Besides the typical domains that we're all knowing, which is structure and design and MEP, we have started a new domains looking after the automation process, industrial engineering, and at the same time, what is the difference between fully flexible automation, semi-flexible automation, and fixed automation? And why we are looking after understanding the difference between this, because we do not want to limit ourselves by having one type of housing that we're producing, like a cookie cutter concept. So understanding the difference between these different technologies and understanding the difference between even the production line shape from SI and U shapes and L shape gave us really a great opportunity to take most of these limitations and constraints in our advantage and looking at the new innovative ideas. So one of the things that we took into consideration that if we want to have a fully flexible automated production line, we would like to avoid any utilization of concrete. Concrete is not the right material for an automated production line. So we decided to go and look after some other alternatives. So we have come to a SIPS panel, which is structural insulated panels. It's a composite materials from different materials. And all of these materials are developed and produced and manufactured in the kingdom, so we're not importing anything. So this is the beauty of research, looking at the problem and then try to find a solution. What also we did, actually, we have developed what we call a design language. By doing that, we do not limit ourselves into 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 different options. So we have unlimited options. So why we were doing that? Because we're not only looking to solve the issue of the manufacturing or developing a production line, we also want to enhance the end user experience. If you go and ask anyone about his experience of building his own home, usually it's not a good really experience. But what we're trying to do is to have it the other way around by giving him an opportunity. Like, let's look at some of the giant local developer companies like Roshan or NHC. It's a huge company. They have a lot of products to offer to the end user. But again, there is some limitations. So usually when you go there, you will pick from different options. Maximum, they have 9 or 10 different options that you can pick and then proceed with that. In our case now, we have developed a platform as part of the journey. So we're getting the advantage of automating the process and at the same time giving the end user the opportunity to develop his own home based on his needs. So it's very, very easy, even in terms of developing the drawings to be produced through our manufacturing processes. So after doing that, one of the issues that we faced at the beginning when we started this project, since we have different experts from different backgrounds, we faced a lot of issues by making sure that we're sharing the same terminologies, we're understanding each other. You know, we have some backgrounds from mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, design, architects. So making sure that we're talking the same language wasn't easy. So what we did at the beginning, we used the concept of reverse engineering, but in a different way. We used the reverse engineering by envisioning and visualizing the end result of this factory and production line and shared it with everyone since the beginning. So we make sure that nobody will really misunderstand the other parties by what we mean by that or different aspects of the manufacturing processes. So when we start working on gathering all of the information, we learned a lot from the other. Some of the things really learned a lot is not only utilizing the construction method, the modern construction method in terms of speeding up the construction process as itself. No, it's also how can we speed up the process of the assembly on site. So if you look at the MEP concept, also we adapted the concept of modular MEP. And the same thing with the plumbing system. We adapted the concept of the modular plumbing system. So saying that, what I mean, we do not need to have a lot of experts or highly skilled technicians on site to do all of the job. And just to put things into perspective, to erect an entire home, we need only 9 hours, and 9 hours, this is reflecting, putting together 9 modules together. And this is where we're gonna have a typical single family home is about 320 square meters size, and 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. And we're showing even the higher level of expectation that we're looking at, any end user might see. We took into consideration another concept, which is circular economy. So we don't want even to bother the end user by going straight forward with 2-story buildings. So we give them an opportunity to start 1-story building, and with time they can add whatever he wants in terms of modules. And not only that, with time, after 20 years, if he doesn't own the space, he can sell it to his neighbor. So I want you to imagine the future of neighborhood, how you can sell and buy different pieces of your home to your neighbors, or even order new modules from the factory. So I think the future of the construction industry, specifically within the residential sector, it will be really a very promising sector. Maybe at the second part of this discussion, I will talk how did we move from developing a proof of concept to the market.
Thank you very much. It's amazing because you've touched like such a broad area. Also the scale. Yesterday in the conversation there was some from the audience inquiries about how like project management can be driven successfully, and from the panel one of the considerations was what you just said, that we need to share with all stakeholders involved from the very beginning what's the vision, what's the objective, so that nobody can miss any aspects, to guarantee that the process is completely shared and fluid in a way with all parties that contribute. And concerning how, like behind is the construction sector, I believe also you are touching a very relevant point. It happens to all of us to go to any building site and see, that we are not that much advanced. We still see construction which are very conventional. So standardization, prefabrication has been for decades in the market, in the industry, but probably new technologies will help the automation and the robotics that you were talking about. Of course, it would be easier to have maybe images of this research project, but maybe you want to share something about if you had made prototypes, because you were talking about checking, having partners in the industry sector that validate your ideas with you. So which type of prototyping have you, or simulation you have undertaken, and how this prototyping simulation were made it like available for the public final users in order to validate from their own site. This is one aspect, and also this is more complex. Maybe if you don't want to go into it, I understand. Now, from an industrial perspective, we say we want to be more efficient, to be able to deliver in shorter times, which is super. At the same time, we would like to keep customized solutions, which is maybe customizing sometimes maybe it's opposite to be fast. And finally, yesterday we spoke broadly about the architectural map. So if we want to be contextual, specific to the different regions in Saudi, how do you think that this process of standardization will be able to address the complexity of the multiple lifestyles, environmental conditions, which is another big challenge?
Thank you. This is a great question, and again, this is the reason behind developing the platform as part of the technology that we're developing to tackle the different region requirements and needs. And now we have, as mentioned earlier in the previous discussion, we have more than 19 different identities from the kingdom. And beside that, we have a new company started by EIF for downtown hubs in the kingdom as well. And all of these different entities are looking after adapting their code. And this is what we did in the platform. And we did an exercise actually by adapting the code of NHC, and we did the same exercise with the area Gate Development Authority as well. We developed the code and showed the possibility of what you can do with the platform. So the platform that we have developed is giving you an access to utilize and adapt any type of different code and requirements and theme as well. How did we develop this, let's say, design language? By minimizing the amount of programs that we need to run through our production line. So some of the stations in our production line, zero level service, so there is no human interaction at all. I can say that until now we have achieved 45% automated process, and we're looking after 75% by the next 3 years. Again, to link your questions to the idea, again, we're not talking about the theory anymore. So we went from doing all the research, we spent around 18 months, just R&D, research and development, making sure that we have a solid foundation in terms of knowledge and expertise, and what do we want to implement in this production line. Because again, the cost is not easy to achieve. So we need to secure the fund even to go after a proof of concept. So after making sure that we have tackled all the tick points that will give us the access to achieve our goal, because our goal for the Gigafactory to be able to build 5,000 single-family homes per year. This equivalent to 45 modules per year, 45,000 modules per year. So in order to do that, we need to go through the proof of concept phase to check our numbers from research and development into actual product. So we passed the stage where we finished everything in terms of numbers, goals, objectives, and manufacturing processes, and then we tried to join or ask some experts from the field to come and validate what we have done, because we want to avoid any bias concept in the process, since we have been working for 18 months. So we got these experts with us, and they went through all of and this is really something important. Instead of go and hire experts to work with you at the beginning, it is really better to go through your goals and objectives, specifically if you know what is the need in your region. So you will have a better understanding how to move forward with the technology. On the other hand, if you start by hiring the experts to start working with you, it might affect some of the results. So sometimes it's good to make sure that your internal team is aware about where are we going with this. Instead of go directly and manage an expert from the field to do the project, it is always good to ask your researchers and academic researchers to work on this specific problem, and we will be amazed about the amount of innovative ideas and concepts that you will come with. Because usually when you go with the private sector, they have some solutions ready to be utilized. They don't want to spend time in thinking. So this is the difference between using your resources and do your research and then go direct to the market. Again, so after this stage, we did all the validation. We hired or we worked with 3 experts from the field. One, just to do something really important for us, because we need someone who worked on commissioning the machine, because having this complex machines and robotics needs an expert who can really make sure that we're having the right standards. Specifically, we're just penetrating into automating the process. The second is the structural expert, and because we have a set of rules that we don't want to give away. One of them is the quality of space. So when we call a window, we would like to have it from floor to ceiling, not only a hole in the wall and call it a window. So the quality of life is a must for us. But with modular, since we are lifting from the top, we always want to make sure that we have a rigid modular system, structural system. Not only that, we would like to have even a flexible system so we can expand horizontally and vertically at the same time. What I mean by that, we're not limited for the shipped modular size because there is a limitation to ship a module because for the road restriction, we have 4 meters max to ship as a module. But in our system, we have, as I said, we don't have a fixed structural system since our panels is structured by itself. So we can expand horizontally, we can have 6 meters, 8 meters, whatever we want in terms of horizontal spaces. So we're not limited to 4 meters. So we move to the next step where we have started selecting some manufacturers around the world. And this is one of the issues actually we have faced since we are so behind in the manufacturing. I mean, the construction industries in terms of automation, there are a very limited numbers of machine manufacturers in the world that can help you or assist you on that specific matters. So just to put things in perspective, one of our stations took them more than 12 months to build for us. And again, most of these factories are small factories as well. They're not big factories, so that's why they have very limited resources to build. But I think with time, they will grow and expand. Again, it took us another 18 months to get all of the production line installed and assembled in our facility. But another piece of information I would like to add, we did not manufacture production line in one country. It was around 5 countries. So we were working with Sweden, Italy, Spain, New Zealand, and Germany. So I want you to imagine even the complexity to make sure that each one of these stations is talking to the next station by utilizing Industry 4.0 technologies and IoT systems. Then we got all of the production line assembled and ready to be tested. And this is really something really I always make a joke about. Usually when you go to a private sector, I ask them, or tell them about your project and research, they said, do you have something really on ground? You said, no. Then they will ask you just go and have it on ground and come back to us. So we did this already. So we have the machines, we have everything ready to be started, but we did not produce the first prototype. Again, if you go to them, they said, have you built anything yet? No, then go and build and come back to us. And this is what we did. So we have built 2 prototypes, one finished, completed product, and we have it actually at our main campus at CAGS, and everyone is more than welcome to come and visit. And the second one, we built it without any finishing, just to show how sophisticated is the structural system that we have developed. And nothing really, and we are very proud about the system that we have developed. So I hope I have answered your question.
You definitely did. Thank you very much. And it seems that research centers are really driving innovation, as you are just describing. And this again opens a big question that is not new, but it becomes newer maybe. In the past it used to be academia driving innovation. Now it seems that academia is behind very often, and therefore there might be better chances to have an integration between the knowledge produced in academia and the knowledge that is produced in other research centers or in the industry. In the UAE, just recently, the Minister of Education has introduced a new framework for the evaluation of institutions, and this includes among the KPIs how much universities are capable to bring industry into the educational environment. Is there anything similar, or do you find in your university that you are expected to push to have a better and stronger integration, incorporating industry leaders or not in an informal way that we do, that we invite guest speakers, but for instance, co-delivering, co-design of programs or courses. Is there anything that you are doing in your university?
Yes, at the College of Architecture, we are using this. We have a collaboration with the private sector and the government sector. For example, we did a joint studio with a development company, with a Spanish university and also a university from Lebanon. I don't remember the names, but they're from Lebanon and Spain, and also Prince Sultan University. They're all architecture students. And they had a joint studio. They work together, and also we are having 20 international students coming next month to collaborate with our urban design and urban planning students in an initiative introduced by WUMRA, Minister of Municipalities and Housing. Yeah, we have this, and also we are open for any opportunity to collaborate with the private sector. As I told you, we already have some joint collaboration and business development in the college that work in these partnerships with other companies.
Thanks very much. And I believe that among the many destinations of your graduates, King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology is one of the possible destinations for them to excel in practice. And maybe I ask to Mr. Bandar if when you work with like graduates in architectural engineering, do you find them kind of practice ready, or which are the aspects? Because we are constantly trying, with industry mentors in our schools and programs to ensure that our graduates are capable, to enter the industry with the proper skills, so that they have exit profiles that meet industry expectation. Are you finding that they are ready, like on average, or which are the funnels or aspects which education center institutions should address best?
Sure. So just to be clear about it, we are very grateful for King Saud University, because the beginning of the project started by having some of the talented students actually through the summer training program at CACS. At CACS, as you know, we are R&D and innovation center. We do not have students, but we do train students through summer training. So at the beginning of this project, believe it or not, I was trying to develop the video for the vision of this factory, as I mentioned earlier. And I was trying to talk some of the expert video creator, and they gave me a hard time to understand where I was going with that. But after having some of the King Saud University students from the School of Architecture working in this project from the beginning, and hopefully, I will get the opportunity to meet with you later on and show you even the quality of the video that we have developed. You will not imagine, how did we reach maybe 90 to 95% of what we have right now. So we are envisioning in 2018, and what we have in 2023, it's almost 90 to 95% accurate. So this is the beauty of having students from academia, very well trained. They have the tools. We can utilize the tools that they have gained. And what I like about it, these people, these students, after going and finishing their degree, they can find jobs very easy because they built their CV through joining a very promising project. So their CV was really dense by a practical, futuristic project. So one of the students now, he's not student anymore, he's now, I can call him a senior architect. he went from one job to another in a very fast way. Even he's now holding a GM position in one of the very respectable entities in the kingdom. So this shows you how even linking the academia with real training, with a real project from the R&D institutes. So this is just to answer your question. So I'm very glad actually to have this kind of collaboration. But I'm looking, I mean, just to be clear now with Dr. Ahmed now, since 3 years we did not have any students yet. So just to complete.
It's a responsibility, calling for a responsibility. Well,
Every summer we have about 100 students, female and male students, who do trainings, summer trainings in the private sector and the public sector as well. And most of them are employed after the training because of their capability, and they saw the potential of these companies. And one of them is cats.
well, and employability is one of the best way to measure success in the academic world or academic education. And in a way, you're both, let's say, in agreement on considering what I was asking before, that in the end, students and young graduates are the bridge between these two domains, which is doing research in academia and doing research in research centers and then in the industry. I have a couple of general questions, but I believe, because we still have 9 minutes, that from the audience we could have questions. So before I go with another question myself, yes.
End the story. So now, just to in 1 minute. So since we developed the technology, we went and started showing what we have so far with the private sector. And last February, this month, we signed with one of the biggest local contracting engineering companies in the kingdom. So we licensed the technology to them. We did not stop at this stage. We went also to secure the demand. We went to one of the local giant companies for developing residential homes, and we secured the demand as well. So we signed the 3 joint agreements between the technology developer, which is CACS, and the private sector and the demand sector as well. So this is how to show you the right successful story, to have this triangle ticked all the way. And if you go and ask the team of this project since we started, this is the first thing we have stated in the meeting. If you don't have completed this triangle, the project is not finished yet.
Thank you. Again, there is an invite, and yes, we have questions from the audience. We can facilitate with the mic, please. 2? Yes, please, but we have to provide mics. Mic is coming. On the 3rd row, there is a lady asking to speak, and then in the 2nd row as well.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for this very interesting panel. I am Engineer Salwa Sabah from Dar al-Umran. I have 2 questions actually. The first, are there any publications on the process that we can refer to and engage with? So I am very interested in reading more about your project. And the second thing, at CAST, and the research center at CAST, have you thought of collaborating with design office to develop such creative solutions? We just came out from a very interesting project, which is the expansion of Quba Mosque, the very special and designed engineered units to expand the mosque itself. And we were thinking about precast units and a lot of engineering involving mechanical systems and electrical systems as one. So us collaborating in such research and development is very interesting for us as a company specifically and on a personal level. And I think my colleague Rana is also interested in the same thing. So thank you.
Thank you for your question. Let me start by inviting you to visit CAX anytime you want. We might then share just the contact numbers. Then I would like to take you through a tour and look at our labs and what can we provide to the private sector. We can collaborate, and in fact we are collaborating with a lot of design and architectural firms and developing different aspects. We're working right now with the Diriyah Development Authority Gate as well. We're helping them to develop new materials for the mud plastering and the mud coating. And we have been working this project for the past 2 years. We did come to new materials having the same characteristics of the mud, of the local materials, but at the same time we reduced the cost by 80% and we expedite the process by 73%. So now we are at the phase of licensing the technology as well. And this is kind of the collaboration we're looking after. We get the problem from the private sector, we work on it, we develop, we take it through the different stages. So the first thing we did, just to give you an idea, we go through the lab development. Once we reach a good results, sometimes the lab results is not enough, so we need to move to the field, and then from the field to the site, and then going from a small scale to a bigger scale to the right scale. So this is how we function. But again, let's meet, talk about your current research project, and then talk about the next steps hopefully. Thank you.
And about accessibility of your research, that was part of the question. Is there any publication or digital sources that we can access to see the project?
Sure. Right now we have filed two patents. We're working on publications because I always believe in publication will come after having a physical things, not before. This is my belief. So now we're working on publishing, not only publications, we're working on a book to tell the story in a better way than what I told you today, because I think I did not sleep since last night, so I'm sure that my idea is not connected and linked the right way. But I promise when we meet at CAX it will be much better.
Is another question, yes?
Yes, please.
Any evening. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the discussion. I have a question following up some of the themes about engaging the private sector. I'm a design manager and architect from Arab, what is a design firm, we do a lot of research. We'd be keen to see what is the best and most effective way of engaging with universities, students. You mentioned examples about delivering courses, internships, lots of ideas. Which ones you feel has been the most effective in connecting with the industry and I guess both ways students learn from, but also make it easy for them to transition to their professional life?
I believe this is for Ahmad.
Thank you very much for your question. You are welcome to visit us in the college and meet me. I'm the head of the training unit in the college, and we can discuss about the summer training or internships in your firm. And then for any other partnerships, I can let you meet with. I wish Dr. Fahad was here because he's the director of the business development unit, and you can meet him there in the college, and we're happy to host you there, and we work in any collaboration.
Okay. Well, I believe we cover quite broad territory. I have to thank the speakers so much. And unless there is a final question from the audience.
Yes.
Yes, there is one. Back row. Fifth row.
My question is to Dr. Ahmed Qutbi. My name is Dr. Hind Abdelmunaim here. And thank you for your wonderful speech. I am from the College of Architecture and Urban Design with Dr. Ahmed in King Saud University. I would like Dr. Ahmed to highlight our experience inside our college to artificial intelligence applying in Design 6 and Design 7, and how the university is measuring the AI KPI yearly according to SADAYA requirements inside our university. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for the question. As you mentioned, that Kingston University added the KPI of using AI and establishing AI labs in all the colleges, and actually all the colleges are now evaluated. One of the evaluation criteria is the development of this AI lab in the college, and also, as you mentioned, we already using AI in the design studios for introduce it to our students and encourage them to use it not as to do their conceptual work, but just to do their rigor and hard work that takes time, and they can use their time more for intellectual concepts.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that the session has been really, really good and extremely valuable insights from Mr. Han and Mr. Badhal, which I would like to thank again for the participation, and I believe also the audience wants to express their appreciation for the panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.